Good morning to everybody. Into the class of human-computer interaction. This is the first lecture. In this lecture, we will discuss about different generation of computers. In this lecture, the generation of computers will be discussed. From these discussions, you will have an idea why HCI came into the picture, why we have need to human-computer interaction. Initially, there was system-centric computing. In the case of system-centric computing, almost no interactions. Computer is made up with hardware and it will be run through machine level code. If you want to run the computer, then you have to know the machine level programming. Through machine level programming, the computer is run. So that was system-centric computing. Now the concept is shifted to people-centric computing. That means computers should design in keep of the mind of people, how they interact, how they going to use the computer. In that way, we have to design the computer. So obviously here is very high level interaction, and computer is made up with hardware, and software is basically designing for running the hardware, and software is designed through using some kind of algorithm. So it is the people-centric computing. So in the case of system-centric computing, we are focused on the system, how to design the systems. And in the case of people-centric computing, we'll focus how computer will be used by the people. We have to design in such a way that it will be user-friendly. So arbitrarily we can divide the generation of computer into 5 different generations. Okay, the first generation interaction was low. Second is somehow more interactive. Third is more than second generation interactions. Consequently, fifth and sixth, fourth and fifth generation also interaction is high. Okay, so from first to fifth generation, the change was interaction level change was low to high. The first generation consider 1940 to 1956. The division of this generation um, is not so much exactly. You cannot say that the generation is finished in 31st December of 56, but arbitrarily you can say that it is from 19 around 1940 to 1956. Okay. So at is this time, okay, very large gap between man and machines. Man communicated to the machine at machine level language. This is the era of machine level programming. So if you want to use the computer at that time 1940 to 56, around 1940 to 56, you have to know the machine level language, and the computer will run through the machine level language. As if we know that machine level language is very much hard. Hard means you have to use the numeric code for any kind of operations. So you have to remember that numeric code, okay, for running the computer. And generally, this type of code is very hard for normal people. Okay, the good level of programming, those programmer, those who have a very good knowledge, they only can use the computer that time. So basically, that time the scientist, okay, the computer scientist, those who are very expert level user, they are use the computer only. That time the computer is was not a general purpose device. Nowadays computer is used by everybody. Okay, it is a one kind of general purpose device, but the things was not same and the first generation. Second generation is considered 1956 to 63. At that time also, very huge gap between man and machine. So at that time, assembly level programming language came into the picture. You know that assembly level programming language is a mnemonics code level. Okay, this is somehow one level upper than the machine level language. You have to write down the assembly level language. Assembly level language is from assembly level language to it will be converted into machine level language by the computer, then hardware will run through the machine level language. But you need not to know the machine level language. But still, this assembly level language also quite hard. Okay, it is easier than the machine level language, but still it is quite harder to uh, for the normal people using that language. Next generation, okay, still there is a gap between man and machine, okay, but gap is reduced, okay, than the previous generations. This time, okay, man communicate to the machine to the algorithm level. Some high level language like COBOL, Fortran, Basic, all that language is designed in this period, okay. So at that time people are able to write down the normal programs, okay, for their purpose. This is a kind of software era. Initially there was no software. At that time, in the third generation, software came into the picture, okay. You can say this is a software era. Man generally interact with computer through the software and high level programming language like COBOL, Fortran, Basic. Okay. Next generation is the fourth generation. The time is around 1971 to 1989. The gap is reduced. Small gap between man and machine. Man and machine both communicate each other intelligent level. At this time, automatic programming language, that means natural language processing, is came, okay, and it is called the embedded era. Lot of embedded device are developed this time, okay. Embedded device like digital clock, all that things are designed this time, and this time the natural language processing, okay, different language processing is came, okay. So obviously gap is reduced. Some high level programming language like C is came in this time. Next generation is started from 1990, okay. Gap is very reduced, okay. Now man machine easily communicate. Machine communicate man at human level. Whenever we are designing the systems, okay, we keep into the mind cognition, perception, psychology, human factor, okay. You can say this is a human computer interaction error. I can give one example like previously there was Linux operating system. Nowadays Windows operating system is running, and this Windows operating system, Windows 10, was developed keeping to the mind human computer interaction, how the people will interact with the device. In that way they have designed. If you see any kind of icon, okay, in your desktop, okay, uh, you can understand, okay. You will find out that gesture based communication also came nowadays. In your mobile you have used different kind of hand gesture, okay, to moving to to deleting one item. You have to just uh, take the item through the recycle bin and it will be automatically deleted. So this kind of interaction is very much intuitive by the humans. Whenever we delete something, whenever we what we do generally, we put that things, okay. If you have some garbage, you put the garbage into the your recycle basket or recycle bins. And in the same way in your computer, if you want to something, what you have to do, you select that things and you take that things up to recycle bin. So this kind of interaction is very much normal, okay. Basically normal means how the people are do the things in their life, that is replicated into the computers, okay. So for doing that things, you have to know the cognition, human perception, psychology, okay, and human factors, okay. We will discuss this cognition, perception, psychology, how they are used into the designing of interface in the consecutive lectures. So you have to remember that nowadays whenever we are going to design any kind of software, any kind of interface, you have to first, you have to know who is, who will going to use your particular systems, use your software or use your interface. and you have to design the software or interface for them, okay, that they can easily use that. Okay, nowadays we are somehow going to serve them. Okay, so this is, we can say, human computer interaction era. So these are the reference. Okay, that is first reference is for ACM SIG guide. So that is a special interested group created by the ACM. Okay, so this is the link for ACM SIG guide. Lot of different things for the ACI. Okay, you will get from here, and this is a very good book written by Alan Dix. Okay, the things, the things also you can get from the book of Alan Dix. These books will be available with the Amazon. Okay, so you can take these things for further reading. If you have any query, you can mail me through this mail ID, somallo.ghosh@galgotiauniversity.edu.in. Thank you for listening my lecture.